today's Extra.
Hello and welcome back to the Anglers Extra pregame show. I'm Jack Smith, joined by Sheets for the Manager's Show. Sheets, before we get into the game today, you've had 8 players who have played for you this summer get drafted over the last 48 hours or so. What does that mean for the future of this team?
It's a big deal. I mean, this is why they come to the Cape Cod League. You know, they put up great college careers, and hopefully, and we were talking about this yesterday, you know, when you come up here, you expect at times to struggle, but you got to recognize you're in the Cape League and everybody gets it. You can't go backwards. It can only help. And so the beauty of some of the guys that got picked is they came up here and they raised their draft stock and they're getting rewarded for it. And it's the start of some professional careers, which for us, not only they create brothers in this dugout, they create fans, guys that are going to watch them and celebrate them as they move forward. So we wish all those guys the very best, and been sending them all texts and messages in our group chat, and it's a pretty special day.
One of the things that happens when you have a lot of players drafted is you've got to replace them. So when you were going into the summer, how did you try and balance having draft-eligible players who are talented enough that might go and knowing that you'll have to replace them later on?
It is a tough balance. I mean, it really is like managing 3 different rosters. You've got your first wave and your in-between wave and then your finishing wave. And so for us, we feel like we're in a good place. We're filling some gaps. You know, we just had one that popped that we didn't really have a great plan for timing-wise, but we'll figure it out. And the beauty of it is the kids that are coming in are willing to adjust. They're just as excited as the guys that started with us. But it's a lot of moving pieces. Like I've said before, it's one big puzzle, and you're constantly moving pieces around, trying to keep the picture intact. And I feel like we're in a good place. I'm really excited about what's coming in, and feel like we may have a really good group to finish the summer with.
Have you had a chance to talk to all the new guys that have arrived, and what have those conversations looked like?
Yeah, just excitement. I mean, I think some of the new guys here now, first day, it's like, hey, man, it's game day. It's kind of like you guys, you get excited about game day. You're like, oh. I'm like, hey, it's just another day. We're just going to play ball. It goes our way. It does. If not, we'll get back to work and move on. But I think for them, it's excitement of putting on this uniform and getting around these guys. And, we make them introduce themselves, and they get a lot of indoctrination into the Angler way. I know they had played some Mafia on the bus trip up, so whether they liked it or not, they got indoctrinated, and that's part of the process as well too.
What did you see in the walk-off win over Orleans the other night?
Pretty awesome. I mean, I think you get guys battling throughout the entire game. Our pitching staff, and I give a ton of credit to those guys. I thought they felt like they hung those zeros that gave us a chance to work our way back and scratch our way back into it, and then to put ourselves in a position to win it there at the end was pretty cool. We talked about before the inning started, hey, wet grass is a factor. So if you just get ourselves in a bunt position, we can lay a ball down and make a kid pick it up and hopefully have some water dripping off his fingers. And sure enough, our bullpen found a baseball. It worked out extremely well. So really cool, and again, a great momentum grab for us, and really trying to ride that wave into today.
Not every team has the makeup to be able to come back in a game. At what point in this summer did you realize that this team did?
Well, the more you're around them, you figure out how special they are. And like I've talked about 1,000 times, man, when you start with really high character kids, there's an element that maybe some teams won't have. And for us, I feel like we can kind of lean on that a little bit when you got really great kids and you tap into their competitiveness and you put a little drive in them that they do. It's better to be a winner, and the world treats winners and losers much differently. So if you put yourself in a position you can win more games, things are typically going to tip your way. And I think they're starting to feel that drive as we kind of move this program back into the playoffs. And we're really the drive to win every game and continue to separate and draw the gap between ourselves and the rest of our side. These guys get that. I don't have to explain that to them. They understand that piece. But at the same time, to be able to come back inside that game and fight to come back and win, have the heart to win, have the confidence and the talent to do it, they've had it all along. Just cool to see it come out.
Chatham looks to win its 4th straight game tonight against Falmouth. Sheets, thanks for the time.
Appreciate it, Jack.
That'll do it here on the Manager's Show.